All right, welcome. Tech Tea Talk, Tech Tea Talk number 4. Let's go. Y'all know what it is. Tech news, things happening in the world of tech, and maybe some other few things. There is the camera. All right. So I got my screen with me again, and the first thing we're going to talk about is something I made a video separately about recently. CMF Buy Nothing, a new sub brand, which I didn't like that much. And there's just a few articles about it here. A Twitter message from some guy who is sharing his thoughts on it. And I'm just going to read them aloud. You can listen to this. So he says, price, no need to argue, lower price, larger consumer base. I think he's trying to put his thoughts on the table on why he thinks, actually CMF Buy Nothing could be the secret to the true success of the brand. And this is the point being made here that makes me go, okay, maybe it is actually better overall that they do this. I mean, they would probably say so, but maybe I'll agree in terms of the potential for levitating the brand up to newer heights and stuff, so that it can really start pushing on some good shit if they do it right. But yeah, larger consumer base, more importantly, higher prices for nothing products, which is actually something I think is interesting too, because at the moment they're selling. Back all the way from the beginning, actually, when nothing got announced, I was hoping that they would release like high-end stuff, like $1,000 phones from the beginning, and just make a fucking beautiful piece of equipment, right? But they made a $399 one, which was good and everything, but it just wasn't that exciting. But obviously, it's part of the business strategy. They have to sell units, right? So they have to be in that lower, more budget range to start making some waves and get people to choose to try it out. With an investment of $400 instead of $1,000, if it's a new company, you're less likely to go, let me spend big money on this one. You might rather want to just take the iPhone or Samsung flagship or a Pixel or whatever, right? Or a OnePlus or something. But with this advent of the CMF company, they might be able to then do the budget, sharp shit, sell a lot of units type of thing there to get revenue going, and then they can focus on main high-end for the Nothing brand, for the Nothing main brand, right? Which is interesting, and that would be nice. That would be nice. Greater perceived value, of Nothing company, and convenience towards. I don't know what he means by that. Whatever. But what I take from this is that having higher prices for the Nothing products will increase the value, perceived value at least of the Nothing brand, which is also good. Design, exploring the non-transparent without betraying the main brand. Interesting as well. Very cool. It makes sense. Less cost, fewer risk, and more receptive audience. Hoping for a strong influence from a certain guy here who I don't know who is. Anyways, cool. They could explore non-transparent design, without being without people going like, what do you do now? You said transparency was your thing, right? Smart, interesting. Brand identity in orange. Saying goodbye to black and white, moving towards bright, cheerful colors, more playful, cheerful in a positive sense. But they have confirmed that they're still going to use the Dutch font, which you can see by the logo as well, to not be too different. Still have some DNA from the main brand, of course. Smartwatch, no need for flashy smartwatches. Practical, functional, fun, and effective smartwatch. Example, Pebble is what Carl announced they were going to do, which I'm interested to see. Carl Pei answer down here, fingers crossed. So he apparently agrees with this, which is very interesting because that's why it's interesting to follow Carl Pei, or for that matter, all the CEOs on Twitter, because he read through this and there's a lot of good points here, and you read it, you're like, I wonder if this is actually what they're thinking. You see the CEO of the company saying fingers crossed, right? So that points at a reality where they actually are, in fact, trying to do that. So interesting. I have another little story about CMF. I think this is just a little article where it sums up what they announced. Teasing a smartwatch. They haven't shown anything, but later this year, apparently a smartwatch is going to come out, and some earbuds, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They also talk about how the name stands for color, material, and finish. CMF. CMF is a weird name. But we'll see. Again, this one, as I showed you the other video, the comparison. We got design innovation at Nothing, premium, latest technology. We got clean design, accessible, and trusted quality on the CMF Buy Nothing. It makes sense. Let me see if I can find. They were gonna do They're going to make a smartwatch powered by Wear OS, which is also good. I thought I saw somewhere that they were, yeah, okay, here it is. Including new smartwatch and earbuds later this year. This is also just another article I found about the thing. A lot of people are talking about the same thing. There's not a lot of stuff out about it yet, but this is what it is. They're comparing it here to OnePlus, how they kickstarted the Nord sub-brand, which Calpay was also essential in the creation of that. That was at the point where OnePlus was starting to fall apart, though, so I think it didn't really turn out great, clearly, right? But he's trying to do it again here, and it's interesting. It's interesting to see. Let's say Calpay kept not OnePlus wasn't being ruined by Oppo and what's the mother company? I don't remember, but the BBK, and he kept it as a full control of it, and he started the Nord brand. He did the whole thing. It's essentially he would be doing what he's doing right now with nothing, but now he's actually doing it, but with nothing, and it's already looking a lot better than OnePlus, and I'm excited. It's gonna be cool. It's cool to see. Interesting stuff happening in the phone tech space. So that's good. All right, so fourth story and last story of the day is about Boring Company, which is something I've been following. Another Elon Musk company, has so many companies, he's doing so many things. The man is doing the most. He's cooking every single day. Is wild. But he's doing he's running this company called Boring Company, which is digging tunnels. That's supposed to be, the vision is that it's made specifically for Teslas, I think, where you can just sort of drop down different layers underneath the city and have different hyperloops underneath the city to alleviate traffic, right? Cool concept. And apparently they are going to dig a 68-mile tunnel network under Las Vegas. Las Vegas is doing the most too. They just did that whole screen ball building thing, which is wild. I love to see it. It's fun, futuristic. Yeah, so it's just interesting. There's a lot of stuff here about it, but it's just talking about how this has been a vision from a long time, and people were hype, and then they started building. They made like a couple mile little tunnel where you could only drive pretty slow, and it wasn't too exciting. See, they said 45 miles per hour. It was a 1.1 mile test tunnel in LA. But it wasn't even that impressive and kind of boring. But now they're gonna make a 68-mile tunnel where it's gonna do 125 miles per hour every 30 seconds apparently, so you can push in vehicles. And they're also talking about that they're gonna do some electric pods that would carry 16 passengers through the tunnel. Yeah, at the speed, right? So that's interesting. It's interesting to see. I just like to hear some news on this thing. It's very new. We haven't seen anything like any videos or nothing, and they're just probably starting to do the first digging at the moment. It's going to take maybe, I don't know. Will that take a year or something? It might take a long time. It's difficult to dig tunnels underneath a sprawling city, right? But I just like to see it. It's interesting. Everything that Musk touches is something that catches my attention. Just happens to do that. But yeah, those were the stories of today. I'll see you next time when we have a tech talk another time. Yeah, that was it. Have a good day. Bye.